Did you ever try to count the different sounds that are around you at a particular moment? Even right now, while you're watching this video and listening to the sound of my voice, you probably hear other sounds in the background. Whether this is the sound of your breath, the wind in the trees, or the kids playing soccer at the nearby playground. It is very unlikely that you are in a place of complete silence. Even when you close your ears, you hear your blood pumping and your heart beating. This room right here is a music studio, and it should be as quiet as possible. But still, I can hear the humming of the speakers. I hear the heating in the corner. And when a train is passing by outside, I can feel and hear a very low rumbling in here. And actually even deaf people can experience sound. They just don't hear it with their ears, but they feel and experience it on their skin, especially in the lower frequencies. A big passion of mine is capturing these sounds with a microphone. This right here is a so-called field recorder. It's a device that lets you capture and store the sounds in a good quality, and you can re-listen to them with your headphones. How and when this passion started, I can't quite remember, but the more I dove into field recording, the more I became aware of the endless variety of sounds in my life. I started to record sounds at home or when I was traveling. Instead of taking pictures, I captured delicious sound bites of places I visited, and when I now re-listen to these recordings, it instantly takes me back to that place and time. And I also started to use these recordings in my music. The waves at the ocean, a rustling of the leaves in the forest, or even a busy road, everything became a source of inspiration for me. Sometimes I chopped up these recordings and used them as percussion. You can't imagine how many different sounds you can get out of a little stone or a glass bottle. But sometimes I also just like to use these recordings as a kind of fundament for my tracks. If you put the sound of rain at the beginning of your song, and if you later change it to the sound of birds, the song completely changes its meaning. These long extended ambiences, they really give you the feeling of the place where you recorded the sound. And I really like to use them as a sort of texture in my song. Sometimes I like to mix it in very quiet so you almost can't hear it. It just completely sets the mood of a song and gets the listener involved. I eventually went so far that I only used field recordings as the source material of a song. These pieces became more like a sound journey, and listening to them probably feels more like watching a movie. You instantly have a picture in your head what the place might have looked like where these sounds have been recorded. If you ask Wikipedia for a definition of music, it tells you, in the most general of terms, music is the arrangement of sound to create some combination of form, harmony, melody, rhythm, or otherwise expressive content. This description leaves open a lot of room for interpretation. Here's a short bite of a piece that I recorded and arranged from sounds in Berlin a while ago. As soon as I started to compose with field recordings, my hearing started to shift. I started to actively listen everywhere I went. Even busy roads, which would normally be described as noisy, became somehow musical. Rhythms, patterns, textures, tones, voices and reverberation. everything became alive for me. Once I got attuned to the rich soundscapes we encounter every day, I felt this joy inside of me, fully listening to everything that was around me. And that's when I realized music is everywhere. Can you hear it too?